This month I've been practicing forgiveness. Yes, you heard that right. Forgiveness. Everyone keeps saying forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you. Well, that sounded noble enough, so I figured I'd give it a try. Hi, I'm Liz from Joyful Mindset, and today I want to ask, how would you handle this? Forgiveness or revenge? Now, I'll admit, when I first started my little forgiveness experiment, I was feeling all saintly like. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized just how many grudges, I'd been nursing over the years. And folks, some of those grudges are still warm to the touch. I started thinking about my neighbors down the road. They've got this dog, a devil in disguise, who loves nothing better than trotting up the road to do his business on my lawn. Every single day without fail, he leaves a little gift. And let me tell you, I've had it. So one night, while sipping my tea and staring out at, yet another steaming deposit, I got what I thought was a brilliant idea. I gathered up all my bag leaves, the ones I'd raked for hours, and tiptoed, well, I didn't really tiptoe, down the road under cover of darkness. I spread those leaves all over their lawn like confetti at a fall festival. I figured, well, now that's fair. I don't send Krabby Dog down there to drop surprises on their property. At least leaves are biodegradable. Boy, that's a word. And no gummed up fingers involved. Satisfied with my handiwork, I snuck home feeling positively virtuous. Next morning, I'm enjoying my coffee when who should I see prancing up my drive again but that four-legged bandit. Out the door I flew, broom in hand, and before you ask, I wasn't riding it. Well, not yet, anyway. That dog saw me coming and knew the jig was up. He finished his business first, then sprinted for home. Sprinted isn't really the right word here, more like fire coming off his paws. When he got to his property line, he turned around and gave me that look. You know, the one, the smug. What are you going to do about it? With teeth bared. Sure wasn't a smile he was showing. Well, that was it. The growl he gave me sent chills clear down my broomstick. Now, before we go on, you should know I've tried to talk to his owners about this before, and they say, they'll look after it, whatever that means, because the dog is still doing his own thing. Anyway, I digress. I don't back down, and I tried to gingerly step one toe onto his property to give him a good talking to, or maybe to his parents again. But he wasn't having any of it. I swear that mutt would have devoured me, broom and all, if I hadn't retreated faster. Then you can say bad dog. Now I ask you, how does one forgive that? No, no. Revenge was clearly the only language this beast understood. So that night I plotted. If I was going to practice forgiveness, I could start tomorrow. Tonight was for justice. I waited until dark, turned off my porch light, and climbed into my truck, taking my gift to his house. I drove down the opposite side of the road so he wouldn't expect me coming. Then I, crept around the back way and eased up in the front of his house. I rolled my window down, well, just a tease, enough to toss a bag, but not enough for him to leap through and eat me alive. I looked both ways, no sign of him. Ha, at him now. I grabbed a garbage bag from the passenger seat and poured it all over his lawn. I could see it all now. His owners would come out in the morning, see the mess, and think he'd raided their garbage cans. They'd scold him. He'd hang his head. I'd sip my tea in victory. Karma served cold. I was giggling all the way home, practically vibrating with triumph, when my headlights caught movement up ahead. There he was, that same snarly hound, standing in the middle of my driveway with a gang, a pack of dogs, a couple of cats, maybe a raccoon for backup for all I knew. The whole neighborhood posse was there. Apparently, while I'd gone the long way around, he decided to pay me a little visit. That nose of his must have eyes to know when I come and go. With my appearance, they took off, and I ran into my house and flopped into bed, exhausted by it all. The next morning, I stumbled outside, still in my robe, and nearly fainted. There were my garbage containers, tipped over, coffee grounds everywhere, and my recycled wine bottles gleaming, like trophies across the yard, along with not only his droppings, but by the size of the gift, his entire gang. I stood there, hands on hips, muttering to myself, not nice words, I might tell you. And then, just to add insult to injury, that neighbor dog, led by a leash, held by his owner, trotted by with his tail wagging, as if to say, nice try, lady. And the innocent, mocking look given by his owner told me she was in on the whole thing. She probably trained that dog to do just that. So tell me, how exactly am I supposed to feel better for giving that furry little vandal and his owner, when he's clearly more vengeful than I am? I'll tell you how. I'm not yet anyway. For now, every evening I'll sit out on my porch, broom in hand, strictly for moral support, waiting for the next round of the doggy revenge games. I keep the porch light on, the garbage tied up tight, and my battle plan ready. Maybe I should take broom riding lessons. I hear a well-timed flyby can scare the heck out of a dog, and his owner at least make him think twice about using my yard as his personal restroom. Still, as I sat there one night staring at the stars, I had to laugh. Maybe forgiveness really is for me, because holding on to revenge sure does take a lot of energy. I mean, who knew plotting payback could make one lose sleep? Maybe the real secret is balance. Forgiveness in your heart, but keep the broom handy just in case. So, friends, tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Forgiveness or revenge? Have you ever had something happen where you tried to forgive, but your inner avenger just wouldn't let it go? Did you finally forgive, or did you come up with a bit of creative payback like I did? Come on, share your stories. Make me feel better about my own childish behavior. And who knows, maybe by next month, I'll reach full enlightenment. Or at least stop scattering leaves on people's lawns. Well, the leaves are gone now anyway. Until then, take care, keep smiling, and remember, if you ever find yourself holding a broom, make sure it's for sweeping, not flying. Until the next time, bye for now.